Okay, guys, so yesterday, and I'm sorry I didn't talk about this earlier, but I had to make sure, this got confirmed. But, my good friend Chris said, this has been a big week for comics. We got the trailer for Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. We also got the casting for Wonder Woman in the Superman Batman movie, or whatever the hell you call it. But now, Bryan Singer has apparently tweeted, and I don't know how much you could take with this, but apparently Apocalypse in a future in the year 2016. Yeah, apparently we're going to get Apocalypse in the next X-Men film, or some X-Men film in the year 2016. So, yeah, how do I feel about this? First off, am I excited? Hell yeah. Apocalypse is one of the big X-Men villains that I've always wanted to see in an X-Men movie. And I'll get into more a little bit of how they should handle Apocalypse, but yeah, Apocalypse is a kind of like an X-Men villain we've all wanted. I'm still waiting for Mr. Sinister, guys. Can we get Mr. Sinister? My favorite X-Men villain? Is that a possibility? You're getting Apocalypse, why not get one of his right-hand men, you know? Anyway. Getting back to this. With Apocalypse, I think it's very cool. But, however, having said that, kind of like when I said, when Wonder Woman was casted or announced, casted and announced, tongue-tied, I still have little fears about it. Is it just for the, just because, oh, well, DC had, announced Wonder Woman, let's get Apocalypse. It's been kind of weird because for the past few weeks that Marvel and DC and TV and movie-wise have just been trying to one-up each other, like, who's got the bigger dick. Like, hey, we just got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hey, we're doing a Jim Gordon series. Hey, we're putting a mask on Green Arrow. Hey, we've got the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. Hey, we got Wonder Woman. Hey, we got Apocalypse. You see where I'm going with this? And it's not like, I know this isn't the first time Marvel and DC have done that, but it's really been popping up lately. Has anyone else noticed that in the past few weeks, this has really been getting this has been getting more escalated? Like, you couldn't even go 1 or 2 days without DC or Marvel trying to one-up each other. I can't wait for, when they announce, hey, such and such is going to be in a movie. Well, we're doing, shit, what do we got, guys? We're going to do a Justice League movie. Yeah, that's the third Superman movie. Oh, boy. But anyway, before I go into that's a rant for another time. Anyway, do I still have fears about it? Yeah, because they could, Fox has been doing good. You got the Wolverine, you're coming up with Days of Futures Past, and you've got, and you had X-Men First Class and, like I said, the Wolverine, which are both good movies, and now you're getting Days of Futures Past, and it looks like Fox has at least some kind of idea on how to handle their their X-Men movies, and it looks like they're trying to build with Days of Futures Past. Hopefully what they're trying to do is build an X-Men movie universe similar to how they're trying to... Marvel and Disney are trying to build a Marvel Cinematic Universe, which that's the thing Bodhi and I talked about on a video about a few weeks ago. And Apocalypse, like I said, the best way you could do with him, and hopefully they'll do this, is seed him starting with... I'm betting you that they'll start seeding Apocalypse in this movie, and they'll keep building up to him, kind of make Apocalypse like the Thanos of the X-Men movies. That's the best way I think you could do it, keep building up to Apocalypse. And now I'm hearing that the X-Force movie, the script is done, and now the X-Force movie's getting more and more talked about, which I'm still kind of, I'll wait for, when it officially is, hey, we're finally doing, even though they got a script done, that doesn't mean the movie's going to be out. Anyway, getting back to this, Apocalypse, I'm also kind of curious of, like my good friend Chris, the Mount Vernon kid, said in his video, where is this going to take place? Where in the X-Men movie franchise is going to take place? Because we don't know where the X-Men movie franchise is going to be left after Days of Futures Past. That's going to be a very interesting timeline. Is it going to be in, are they going to do, is it going to be, the third X-Men First Class movie? Or is it going to be in a totally different continuity? Something like that? That's going to be that's going to be pretty difficult to say. So, I don't know. Could he even be in the X-Force movie? That's the thing, we don't know where he's going to be, Apocalypse is going to be set. The other thing is, like, what kind of apocalypse are we going to see? Are we going to see something like the 616 apocalypse, like we all know and love? Or are we going to see something like Ultimate Apocalypse? I don't know. Then again, I don't know much about Ultimate Apocalypse, considering on the grounds Mark Millar's Ultimate X-Men kind of agitated me sometimes. It had a pretty good opening start, and then it just kind of petered out. Personally, for me, if you like Mark Millar's Ultimate X-Men, that's fine. I don't have any problem. I don't have any thing against you for it. You know, love what you love. But me personally, I did not like Mark Millar's Ultimate X-Men midway through. But anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. But I'm betting you it'll be something like not Ultimate X-Men, 616 Apocalypse. Something, you know, with the big armor, or is he going to be like? I'm actually wondering if he's going to be something like because I really want like the big armor as you see in this picture Apocalypse, but I wouldn't put it past him to do something like they did with shit. What was the word I was looking for? With X-Men Evolution, where he had the techno-organic stuff, and he was still very Egyptian. He was kind of like an Egyptian god type thing. Well, not like a god type. He was obviously a mutant, but he had like very advanced technology. I wouldn't put it past him to do something like they did in the Apocalypse we saw in X-Men Evolution. Though personally, as you can see right here in this picture, yeah, I'd love to see Apocalypse like that. The other thing is like, we're 3 years off, because this is supposed to come out in 2016, so I'm wondering, you know, who would play him. A lot of people said James Earl Jones or Keith David. I would like them too. I think they would be very good. I've seen actually a fan trailer. I can't remember who did this yet. I want to say Shades. I want to say Shades and Night did it, but there was one where it had Liam Neeson doing like a fan voice for Apocalypse, and I was kind of wondering, maybe Neeson. That would be interesting. Other people, I would even say like get a actual voice act. You know, someone who does voice acting for a living. Maybe Frank Welker. Frank Welker would be cool as Apocalypse, or David Kaye. Excuse me. Yeah, David Kaye would be cool. Or I don't know. I'm just throwing out voice actors. The other thing is like, are we going to see like a motion capture costume? Is it going to be, you know, motion capture or something like that, or are they going to get an actor and just have someone voice over them? That's always a possibility. Don't get me wrong, guys, I'm really excited for this. I really am excited if we do actually get En Sabah Nur in a X-Men film. Totally love it. On the other hand, you know, I'm really kind of scared on the other side of, you know, how are they going to do this and play it off? Because even though right now, in my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, the X-Men movie franchise since First Class and the Wolverine have been good. Who is to say and Days of Futures Past looks promising, even though that trailer looked kind of like it was fan-edited. It still looked very promising. You know, this could easily, you know, go very wrong on so many levels. So, that's kind of the thing. I am really excited. I'm really optimistic. I'm really excited for just Apocalypse. And another thing I want to bring up real quick is that I don't think they'll do, my personal thing, I don't think they'll do Age of Apocalypse as a whole movie. And you're probably wondering, well, Age of Apocalypse was a storyline, but on the other hand, you know, we had Days of Futures Past, and that's a whole storyline, so why can't they do a movie of it? And granted, you could possibly do Age of Apocalypse as a movie. However, the thing is, Age of Apocalypse was one gigantic story that went through multiple X-Men titles, and I get that all Marvel comic events kind of pretty much do that. However, that being said, everyone had their own separate stories, and everything didn't come to a head until towards the end. So that was kind of the thing, is that it was such a big world that they had to do through multiple stories and multiple titles, and that was the driving point of it. That was the big thing. So I'm not saying you couldn't do it, I'm just saying it'd be kind of difficult. I personally believe if you want to do Age of Apocalypse and get everything in there, I believe you could do it as an animated series, kind of like, I think it would be interesting to do like if Marvel, because they're doing a lot of Marvel anime stuff after that Iron Man one. I don't know if they'll do it anymore after that Iron Man one, but I think if you could do like an Age of Apocalypse anime, and build it up, and just to showcase Apocalypse, when the movie gets closer, and do it like a 12-part or maybe even a 24-episode series, anime series. I think you can capture everything in there, or the gist of it, in 12 to 24 episodes of Age of Apocalypse, just to showcase what Apocalypse is and what he can do, and just kind of like play off that. If you want to do Age of Apocalypse, I think it might be, if anything, it might be an original story or something along those lines. I'm not saying you couldn't do a live-action version of Age of Apocalypse. I'm just saying it's difficult as all hell. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on Apocalypse so far, but you guys tell me, what do you think of En Sabah Nur coming to the big screen? Who do you think should play him? What do you think the story's going to be? And where do you think in the X-Men movie timeline do you think this is going to be? So, because that's the big question for me. Where is this going to take place exactly in movie franchise? Because we don't know what the movie franchise is going to be like after Days of Futures Past. So, yeah. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out.